Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I survived episode 1 of ReZero. Unlike our protagonist who died twice and found something to live for and then lost it. Episode 1 was shockingly awesome. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cute, fun, and goofy, introduced a bunch of cool mysteries that I actually want to know the answers to. I don't dislike the protagonist. I don't dislike any of the other characters, except for maybe the cat when it's big. I don't particularly like the cat when it's full-sized furry. There's something about it still being a cat, and then being... I don't like it. It's weird. But now we're in the midst of a time loop. Our character doesn't completely understand what's going on, but he'll get it. I have faith. If he doesn't get it and it continues to be wibbly, then it's gonna get weird, but I think he's gonna figure it out pretty soon. And now he has to try to re-engineer a serendipitous meet cute, because the meet cute that he had with Satella was really quite serendipitous and not the kind of thing that he has any experience causing intentionally. Will that mean going back through and trying to like repeat the same events and then convince her that there's a murder that's gonna happen? We've got this sort of half detective murder mystery, half there's some kind of political ramification going on with the symbol and the I plan to give it back to them turning into violence immediately. There's a lot going on here. Beyond exploring a fleshed out world that feels large and vibrant thanks to our cityscape sequences, exploring a romantic relationship that has a ton of potential, assuming we can actually meet cute the girl again and prevent her from getting dead and us from getting dead, and find out what that little emblem is really all about. There's a lot going on, and I'm excited to see how our boy begins to fumble his way forward into it. For the first time in ReZero, I'm gonna do a drawing. I didn't do one in the first episode because I really didn't know what to expect, and I gotta say, I'm glad for that, because it would have been just guessing and grasping at straws, and my expectations were wrong mostly about what this show would consist of so far. So now I get to draw a thing that actually makes some sense, and that pleases me, so I'm going to turn on the camera and get to it. Okay, well, if you ask me, there's really only one thing to draw here. It was always all of a sudden. Her hands are too small. I wanted to draw that moment on the bridge because it feels like a really crucial piece, a turning point emotionally for Subaru, where he goes from like, yeah, okay, to whoa. This girl's something special. Something worthwhile. Something important, maybe. I like it. I like it. I like it. And I want to watch more. And that's what we're going to do. So, thank you all so very much for joining me. You could have gotten this week's episode, as with any of them, a week early on the Patreon. Speaking of patrons, there will in future be a shout out at the beginning of every episode. I have not made it yet. There are a few of you waiting for it, and you all deserve the shout out. Be patient with me. I'm going to write a song for it, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I've got some ideas sort of kicking around, but I'm going to wake up one of these days with the inspiration to do it, and I'll get it done, and it'll be great. Until then, thank you so much for your patronage and your support and stuff. If you want to check that out, it's in the description. Appreciate it. Let's get into the episode 2 and see how Subaru handles what he's found out and figures out whether he can, with a really, really bad starting line, whether he can convince Amelia that he knows something she doesn't and she's in danger. Tough. Alright, and with that, we are ready to roll for episode 2 of ReZero Kara Hajimeru Isekai Seikatsu. I actually said the name. Beep beep timer. Let's get into it. Everything is well. We're starting right where we were. And you just called her a bad name. Oh. Well, we met. That's what the cat said about you. Terrible taste. Awful. It's different now. Okay, but she did know. Oh, she thinks that we were working together. Just get stabbed, man. Fuck this. Try again. Oh! Whoa! Everything glitching out and busted and broken. And then the rewind at the beginning. Hi. 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 That's a Remram. Rimrum. The remaining precious thing. Whoa! I got this! Cool. There's a washboard in there? Or whatever that instrument is? Yeah. That sounds so weird. It's cool. Why is Bisky here? And flashback to it. Okay. All loops. Yes. Summoned to this world? Yeah. Why am I here? Ah, again. Did you just get stabbed? Yeah. Good, we get to reset. No, that's great. I hope it's mortal. Ah, you're finally figuring it out. Alright, time to die. Aw, jeez, I'm really dying. That's cool. The voice that comes in is like warpy. We met before? First time. Mm-hmm. No stab wounds. No stab wounds. A warrior, huh? Alright, good. He figured it out immediately. No sweat. Unless he comes up with the wrong idea. Okay, good. He accepts it. Okay, he's begun counting. So I have no reason to seek that girl out. Classic isekai stuff. But that guy's kid is still missing. Kinda like you. Can you really leave her be? Aw, he can't help it. Aw, the child and our time walking around together. Yup. No! Not the tomato! Oh, God! War flashbacks. That was good, the despair. Uh-huh. You have to do something. Ah! The easy path is right in front of you. And you don't do anything. Got a daughter? Ah! That's a better ask. Prevented entirely. Ah! She did it without ya! Shit! Get a job! Finally got that. We're locked in. Yeah. Ah, again. Huh? Straight to his knees. Ah. That'll do it. Beautiful. Nobody's coming. It didn't work at all. There are no... Oh. Guards. Shit, my headphones. Who the fuck are you? The hero of heroes? What are you doing in town? Also, who's your voice actor? I've heard you a lot. I've heard you a lot. You're already dead. Are you the lady that I heard screaming? I wonder if this guy's actually awful. He's got that smile. See, that's bullshit. This dude's murderous. Maybe it's the black flare around his collar. The, like, raven feathers or whatever. Did he give him his name? Sorry, I missed, did he give him his name? He must have. Yeah, but no guards came. You seem like people who know who you are think you're pretty fucking intimidating. Yeah, you definitely don't fit here. That would be interesting. Put somebody powerful in front of the witch. Hmm. Okay. Huh. And is not actively looking for her or anything. Interesting. I don't trust him at all. I don't try. I sorry, but I don't. Gotta remember that. Gotta remember the live strong part. What the? Is that her? That is her. Hi! Flashbacks. Uh huh. About yeah, you will. Nah. The little child voices in the background. Oh my god. Uh, yeah, well, we got plenty of time for that later. Yeah, she knows well. Yeah, me too. Bye, pretty lady. Please don't murder me. Yeah, that's real trouble. Meeting people who you've already met before and having a like a parasocial relationship with them that they don't expect. Is this where Felt lives? I felt. Nope, only thing I want, you already have. Oh, jeez. This is going quite well. Well, say something about the amulet. Otto. Acha. Oh, her whole house. How do you know my name? Yeah, fair. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All he's got is the media. Ugh. Cool transition. For as many hours as his battery lasts. It's inaccurate. Gotta talk to Romaji. Rom OG? Romuji. Let's go talk to old man Rom. Puts us right back in the same situation. Yeah. Most things can't be bypassed, but it doesn't seem like a karmic impossibility thing, like H.G. Wells is the time machine, things can't be stopped. Fate is inevitable. I don't get that vibe. Wow, this is a bigger place than I thought. Reasons. Oh, the bridge of power. He's gonna go face his death again. Wow. I don't belong here. Oh, we're finding out more about her dreams. Who? Taking care of Rom? Maybe. uh, that's cool. We reuse the scene, the space, for the bridge scene, for an emotional connection scene with somebody else. Hmm. You were warned. You were warned. All right, we're back here. Can we change fate? That's what I thought. Until she walks in. He's really pushing it. We're all about to get murdered. And what does it mean? Damn, she's clever. She's clever. With them. Which them, though? We're right back to it. Exactly the way it was before. That was what shocked them before. What does that mean, man? Yeah, but why did everybody get so surprised by that when he said it before? Crying? No. Ah, shit. Time's up. Unless it's Satella coming. It's a little early. I think that'll be her. It's gonna be Satella, right? It's gonna be a bait and switch? So something with him talking to Reinhard or not running into her led her here before. Ha! 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 Interdasting. Oh, please don't let me die. Rad. So many bits and bobs. A defective hourglass. So that you don't lose anything again, forget me and restart. Who? What? Alright, I don't want to know. Thank you. Is that the three, that's the three thugs, isn't it? The Black Lightning. Sure, guys, sure. Okay, so, continuing our reset, Subaru figures it out relatively quickly. And more importantly than figuring it out really quickly, that he comes to grips with the situation that he's in allows him to start orienting himself psychologically toward his goals. And that's a majority of what goes on inside Subaru's head over the course of the episode, is leading up to that scene with Felt on the bridge, where he realizes and comes to the conclusion that I'm not just doing it for her, I'll change my fate. Maybe it happens earlier as well. I don't know. There's a point where Subaru realizes what's going on to him, that he's looping, that she's going to be in danger, that things that he knows are going to occur will occur, and he has the opportunity to stop it, and he doesn't see within himself the ability to let that happen. It flies in the face of his rationalization and like intellectual motivation. He comes through and he's like, okay, I'm in a time loop. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can sell this cell phone and get a bunch of money, and I'll use that to start building my perfect isekai life where I, invent the water closet and the car and become a super holy coin billionaire. And everything's going to be great. And then he stumbles over the reality, which is that he's an emotional entity and there are people that he's come to care about, and he can't prevent himself from caring about them. And he knows that they're going to die, that things are going to happen. So, despite his disdain for Amelia's perspective on helping people and inability to prevent herself from reaching out and helping people, he finds in himself something pretty similar, right? He's not cold or cynical as he thinks he might be. That's pretty cool. I like the emotional center of the episode as Subaru figures out what he's going to do and stumble and struggles in the direction of trying to help. He's kind of oriented in the right direction. He does the little thing where he's running off and is like, aha, I'm going to be so rich. And then snaps into orienting in the right direction. I'm going to save that girl. I'm going to try to save Felt and Old Man Rom too. And as he goes along, he sees the care that these characters have for each other. She says, even if I was by myself, and he realizes that there's a care there, right? He's unable to be as cold and distant as I think he thinks he would like to be. And of course, he wouldn't actually like to be. It's so much more interesting to be interested. Oh, terrible taste indeed. And everybody in the audience is like, this guy, he shouldn't have said that. That was really too far, bro. Awesome. Our OP is really cool. We're going to get to see it plenty of times, but stuff on the ground, blood, death, and it and then the majority of the OP is these faces sort of glitching by and giving us all sorts of character expressions and moments without context. It's kind of cool because it gives us... we don't see scenes with all these characters. There's not much to leap off of or infer from it. So it gives us a landscape and ideas and emotions, but not spoilers. I really like this scene of one of you stepping past the confused of you and stepping forward, smiling, confident, ready to go. This is cool. I think that's a scene that probably is anchored in a lot of people's minds. That idea of a new self who overcomes your previous self. Well, we've got a literal looping going on in ReZero, right? Same guy, same memories, restarts every time. That's not super far off from your actual experience of real life, is it? No. Every morning you wake up anew with the memories of the past, and you have a bunch of things that you can do, and you can choose to do them differently. In fact, I guarantee choose to do them differently because you will change. You won't be the person that you were a year ago. You'll be different. You'll make different choices. And you'll have the opportunity to. This representation of multiple selves and holding on to the self that was, but walking past it, recognizing that it was a you, that it's not gone, but that you're somebody else striding forward, I think that could be a really potent perspective for evaluating yourself and your own actions. It can wake you up to realize that you wake up new every day. In Subaru's case, the mistakes of his yesterday get erased and he gets to retry. But to some extent, that's true in our real world, too. Now, if you die, you fucking die, and if you get somebody killed, they're dead, and you're going to have to live with that forever. It's not great. But on many of the things that you do, you get a choice every day when you wake up who you're going to be. And you really can choose differently. Even if you've done the same thing every day for years, you can change it. You can change it, and it might change you. I really like the scene. I liked this moment where we flashed through all the characters. Yeah, I really liked the color that we smash each of them with. It's sort of reminiscent of, well, it's very anime OP classic-y, but I like the stark color of it and the style. It feels cool. I really like the lyrics overall throughout the OP, and I like that it loops from beginning to end with the sort of repetition of circumstance. Subaru's sprinting forward, and there's a chaos of many Subarus, and here it's a staircase, a spiral staircase that doesn't go anywhere, and the squad of all the ladies. Freaking cool. Okay, why was I even... Bam, there he is. I'm not gonna fucking deal with you, and he gets stabbed. Ah, shit. Oh, God. Wait a second. Didn't somebody eat those? Yes, he did. And now Subaru wakes up and realizes it. Thank goodness. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I was slightly worried that we were going to try to drag that out in a way that wouldn't feel realistic, and nope, he figures it out pretty immediately and about as efficiently as possible. Efficiency continues to be part of the name of the game for the format and flow of the show. Maybe that's because it's a light novel adaptation. Maybe it's just the way that they've chosen to do it. But it's great. He begins counting, and I think that's going to be important because at some point he's going to have done this a lot of times, you know? I expect that he's going to become something interesting, something very interesting. Let sleeping dogs lie goes the same in every world. I don't want to get caught up in other people's problems. Kind of just like you, right? But still, there are always people who will help others when they can't really afford to. And he's back through thinking about the way that she acted toward him. She really shouldn't have done that. She really didn't have time, and yet she saved a useless stranger, and then he sees the little family, and the tomato falls, and it's a splat, and it flashes him into the... It's really good. It connects him to the care and the future that we talked about and the possibility, and then it blows it up in blood. And it's like, oh, right, there's this beautiful thing, and it's gonna die. Ugh. So we hold on her face for a little while. We just hold it there, right? And then he turns and begins to walk the other direction. Choice made. If I'm aware that people I used to know are going to be killed, I can't just do nothing about it, right? I can't just ignore it. It's not the more complicated or, more fleshed out philosophical idea, which is, if I know that the people that I care about are going to die and I don't do anything about it and I could have prevented it, then I'm somewhat responsible. He doesn't get that far. He doesn't even go for it. It's just almost more like an instinct. I can't ignore it. I can't avoid being pulled by this. But at some point, we might get that more fleshed out perspective. Because if he were to allow those things to occur and then keep living on, it would saddle him with a sense of guilt that he was responsible. And I think it really would. And that's part of what we're moving toward here, is that as Subaru gets to know more of the elements of the day that he's repeating and the world that he's in, and realizes that he has control over more aspects of them, control over how the gang fight works out, control over what Felt does, control over, this, that, talk to Reinhard, etc., whether the kid gets back to their parent, whether the tomato falls out of the bag. As he gains more control, he's also taking on himself more responsibility. The more he knows and the more he's aware of, the more he can change. And if he has the power to change those things, and he knows what's going to happen, and he doesn't want that thing to happen, and he lets it happen anyway, he's responsible for it, right? So Subaru, as he explores this world, is taking upon himself more and more responsibility. And over the course of this scene, he takes upon himself the responsibility for Satella's death. And as we move along, for Felt and Old Man Rom, too, he takes those responsibilities on himself. Not explicitly, doesn't say, I'm responsible for preventing their deaths. But implicitly, he's absolutely heaping these burdens on his back, and taking them on. Despite being, he's not the kind of character where we would say about him, he's the kind of person who takes other people's responsibilities onto himself, which is a line that we literally got in Double Zeta Gundam not that long ago about our protagonist there. Not something we would say about Subaru, but his actions are in that vein. He is absolutely taking these responsibilities on himself, begrudgingly or not. Ignore what he says and the way that he says it. Look at what he does, and what he does is see people in struggles and try to put that on his back. It's pretty interesting. It's definitely, he's in conflict on the inside, but it leads to cool character choices, I think. If only I could keep it from being stolen, then maybe it would work. Satella's an alias, gotta get the real God damn it, the frickin' squad, and he calls for the guards. No guards show up, which is interesting. And Reinhard does. Red hair, blue eyes, special suit, super sword, overly humble, super, faux modest. It's like fakey modest, my small skills would not be enough to... But obviously, this dude is in the top 3 swords people in the city or something, right? This guy's fucking dangerous. I would have to retire, and he is a knight. Okay. Oh, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Does he give him his name? I, Natsuki Subaru, deeply admire your selflessness. Okay, he does. I was worried about nothing. I thought he interpreted his name. Yeah, nice guy index off the charts makes me really not trust him, especially when it's combined with little black feather things around his collar and the classic, fake smile. I don't trust Reinhard at all. My family is fairly unique. Every day I feel like I'll be crushed by their expectations, but doesn't know. Please tell the beautiful lady not to go there, and she does. So maybe he did or maybe he didn't. I don't know. Man, a terrifying bump into her. My favorite thing about this portion is the yeah, there are little kids chanting on one side of the stereo track. Ring around the rosy or something, right? It's like pure horror haunted house scary. Just blasting into Subaru. I like it. I think it's great. I smell your fear, child. Holy shitterino. And then we go and chat with Felt. Get almost murdered twice. And then get back to negotiating, right back to exactly where we were before, really. Media, holy coins, Elsa incoming. And I think this is great. I mentioned it when it happened, but we again have a threshold crossing, bridging between the gaps between characters and emotional connection on the same bridge. And what that really lets us do, I talk about this in Made in Abyss, where they will use the same piece of soundtrack for similar emotional experiences, and every time you get it, it reinforces the power of that soundtrack with all of the elements that you've already connected it with, now connected to the new experience. Here, it's a visual scene instead. This location is anchored to us with connection and characters seeing eye to eye and understanding each other here on this bridge, and so we get it again. And Felt reveals her deep-seated desires on this bridge, and Subaru can see through her in this instance. I'm not like the people here. They're not strong. They just say these things. I'm different, and I've got goals. So we see her spunk, we see her fire. The 20 holy, he's like, do you really think that one big payout of a few grand is going to change your whole life? Yes, it would be a huge leap. And then she reveals, even if I were alone, it isn't as if I couldn't get by with effort. I don't understand the phrase, honestly. Just because there are double negatives. Even if I were alone, I could get by with effort. Yeah, that is what it means. Which means brain Scatter. So, I am not at present alone, and I cannot get by with effort, or I can get by without effort. I don't understand. Either way, big friends with old man Rom, of course. And there it is. There's that recognition. And then we cross the gap and forced head pats. Just gotta make it work, and only I can do that. I like this shot of the city at night. It looks bigger than I thought. It's kind of cool. And so we're back here in the same exact negotiation state. And little Felt realizes that a lot of people are gunning for this emblem here. Maybe she can get more for it. And instead of Elsa, in walks our... I don't know what the last word of that sentence will be. Our friend? Our ally? Our enemy? Who knows? But she's here for that thing too. And she's also flat broke, so she doesn't have 20 coins to offer, does she? Because we know she's flat broke because she couldn't pay for anything before. Damn. And now we are all here, just ready and waiting for the murderer to arrive, with no reason for them to trust Subaru. How do we wiggle our way out of this? I don't know. I do know that I want to look up Reinhardt's voice actor. Yuichi Nakamura. He's everybody in everything. Okay, good voice for the purpose. We'll see if it ends up being an evil voice for the purpose. I don't trust Reinhardt, but maybe I should. Maybe that's just me being fiddly. Let's see, was there anything else in particular that I wanted to point out or emphasize over the course of the episode? No, it's jumping between either internal monologue or dialogues, right? Characters, or thinking about previous interactions. There isn't much action or stuff in this episode, besides getting almost killed by Felt, really gearing up toward next episode, which I think is going to be much more chock full of action. Cool! No, I'm pleased with wrapping it there. The story progresses, our character progresses, and the world gets more complicated as we explore more pieces. I like where we're going with this. I like how Subaru is tackling this challenge at present, and in these first couple of iterations, we're really going to see where he starts to end up, I think. Like what direction does he choose to go in as he's really starting to figure it out. I liked it. And I hope you did too. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next week for episode 3 of ReZero. Much love. Peace.